outbreak from a single supply chain source triggers industry-wide fear, clean businesses pay the price. Today, I'm examining how broad-brush public health warnings can create a reputational crisis and how strategic communication design can preemptively manage risk. The Creative Convergence is for communication and design professionals seeking a true multidisciplinary edge. With each edition, I share tactical strategies for building innovative, cross-platform solutions by fusing cohesive, strategic messaging with artistic visual design, so that my audience may learn how to create emotionally engaging experiences to achieve measurable business growth. According to the Institute for Crisis Management Annual Crisis Report for 2025, 65% of corporate news items tracked globally stem from a smoldering crisis. Predictable operational and supply chain vulnerabilities linger below the surface until an incendiary event launches a full-scale public relations crisis. When structural vulnerabilities remain unaddressed, a single regulatory advisory can instantly trigger a widespread industry shock. The recent food safety headlines across the hospitality sector offer a demonstration of this communication breakdown. A 2026 cyclosporiasis outbreak made national headlines after federal health officials issued widespread warnings instructing consumers to avoid bagged salad greens across retail and food service industries. Public health agencies instructed consumers on proper washing and cooking temperatures for other produce. News channels also circulated information about various sources from previous outbreaks of the parasite. The situation became more confused when the FDA initially reported a positive test sample from shredded iceberg lettuce to a single supplier distributed to a fast food chain with locations across multiple states. Though they retracted it days later as a false positive, Taylor Farms and Taco Bell had already suffered from reputational and monetary damage. Broad regulatory warnings had already sent shockwaves through the produce ecosystem. Grocery chains, independent restaurants, event venues, and caterers with zero connection to tainted produce watched consumer confidence erode overnight. The likelihood of these events was foreseen by several major restaurant groups who had already warned investors about cyclospore contamination risks in their annual 10K filings long before the outbreak occurred. Yet, when it happened, public communication remained overwhelmingly reactive. Broad brush messaging was intended to proactively protect public safety, but it also generated immense collateral damage for innocent businesses. Historical data reveals the disturbing scale of this collateral damage. During the 2018 romaine lettuce outbreak of E. coli, a blanket advisory issued just before Thanksgiving wiped out an estimated $350 million in economic value across growers, distributors, and retailers who had unaffected crops. The extreme financial toll of blanket warnings highlights a severe vulnerability for blameless businesses. Faced with this sudden threat, executive teams frequently compound the damage by defaulting to defensive corporate playbooks. When an industry-wide crisis erupts, the natural impulse for many executives is self-preservation. A textbook example is the Chipotle food safety crisis of 2015. When E. coli and norovirus incidents sickened customers across multiple states, messaging initially scapegoated suppliers and framed the illnesses as isolated occurrences. Media and the public responded negatively to the chain's dismissive attitude when employees were deemed the cause. Chipotle's sales plummeted by 30%, eroding $6 billion of market valuation. Even after revamping PR efforts, improved food safety protocols, and free burrito giveaways, the damage was done. About a quarter of the customer base refused to return for a year, and federal regulators later issued a record $25 million penalty. Established defensive playbooks fail even faster today because public trust has fundamentally shifted. The 2026 Edelman Trust Barometer shows that 70% of people worldwide hold an insular trust mindset, meaning they're hesitant or unwilling to believe institutions, leaders, or sources that differ from their personal networks. People have more confidence in peers, coworkers, and their own employers far more than foreign business leaders or government authorities. When a public health scare hits, consumers naturally retreat into skepticism. Vague corporate assurances that our supply chain is safe fall flat in a culture defined by institutional distrust. Consider the classic case of the 1982 Tylenol crisis, where Johnson & Johnson responded to deadly product tampering by issuing warnings to the public and voluntarily recalling 31 million bottles at a cost of over $100 million while introducing tamper-evident packaging. That decisive action restored their market share from 7% to nearly 30%. Reclaiming authority in an era of deep institutional skepticism requires an intentional shift in messaging infrastructure. To move beyond temporary damage control, organizations must design an active architecture of transparency. To survive systemic fallout, organizations must transition from reactive damage control to an active architecture of transparency. This entails building a proactive, data-driven system directly into communication design. Organizations must build verifiable, decentralized sourcing that moves proof out of the executive suite by providing public-facing supply chain mapping, open quality testing logs, and clear vendor disclosures. When an industry outbreak occurs, businesses can immediately publish verifiable traceback data to prove their companies are not affiliated with a contamination source. Organizations must establish cross-functional data pipelines because communication design failures happen when public relations teams are isolated from technical operations. Cross-functional alignment ensures that communications personnel have direct access to supply chain data that allows them to immediately translate complex logistics into clear messaging the moment a threat arises. Organizations must secure platform-agnostic truth anchors for a fragmented media landscape where a single press release buried on a corporate website is insufficient. Organizations must optimize owned media as search-optimized repositories filled with clear graphics, sourcing maps, and short-form video explainers. Distributing these assets directly to digital communities during a crisis will ensure accurate information reaches consumers where they are actively looking. By engineering these structural capabilities into strategic messaging, brand equity is protected long before a crisis strikes. Public health authorities must always choose broad caution over commercial nuance, and that structural reality remains outside of any company's control. Clean businesses can actively contain collateral damage when an industry crisis strikes. Building verifiable sourcing, cross-functional data pipelines, and accessible truth anchors into brand infrastructure creates an active defense against widespread panic. Strategic communication design ensures that when an isolated crisis threatens the market, organizational reputation rests securely on a foundation of transparent and undeniable proof. If you enjoyed today's conversation, subscribe to the Creative Convergence podcast and newsletter for more tactical strategies for communication design. Until next time, keep converging your skills and crafting engaging experiences that drive real results. Thanks for listening.